I've made a trip to Cologne to attend one of the biggest events in the game industry, Gamescom, for one specific reason, to play Lies of P. Well, not necessarily, but for the sake of clickbait title, let's just stick with that. I did manage to have my hands on the game, but do I actually need to tell my opinion when nobody asked for it? Yes, I played Lies of P for the entire 15 minutes and that was enough for me to get this whole picture of the game, so my conclusions are totally objective and should be considered as the undeniable truth. And the truth might be hurtful.
Don't you dare.
It's not a new Bloodborne. Yeah, it looks like Bloodborne, it wants to be Bloodborne, it has some mechanics from Bloodborne, but it doesn't feel like Bloodborne. Lies of P is for sure a Souls-like, heavily inspired by Bloodborne. It has all main pillars of Souls-like, stamina management in core gameplay loop, bonfires, big-ass bosses, and dogs. Sounds like a generic Souls-like, right? But here's the twist. Boom! Now it's a stylish steampunk Souls-like in a Victorian style, almost like Bloodborne. Almost. Despite the visuals, the setting, and big pizza cutter, this game has nothing to do with Bloodborne. Sure, it has some essential gameplay features that were used in Bloodborne, like dashing instead of rolling or restoring part of your health by attacking enemies after receiving damage, and yes, all these small things might feel insignificant, but they play a really important role. They encourage players to be more aggressive and stick to the dynamic playstyle, so it makes sense to adopt those features. Fast-paced, this is the word I would think of first to describe Bloodborne combat, and this is the word I'd like to associate Lies of P with, but unfortunately, this is not the case. I've only had 15 minutes demo version to play and no chance to record anything, so I have not much to talk about. So there won't be any deep lore analysis or any boss design breakdown. All I can talk about is how the game felt during this 15 minutes, and it felt heavy. Main character's movement felt Lords of the Fallen type of heaviness, you know? Maybe that's why in the trailers he has this edgy walk all the time. And that comparison sounds bad for the game that is portrayed as a Bloodborne spiritual successor. I expected Pinocchio to be quick, fast and furious, and none of this is about this lying ass. Probably it's the animations and control inputs that bring that heaviness, and you may say that I'm too picky and it's actually not that big of a deal, but listen, walking shouldn't be a burden because this is basically what you do the most in the game. I want to enjoy it not only during boss fights, movement should fit the genre, and I'm okay with Last of Us having slow movement or Skyrim, but Lies of P is an action RPG Souls-like. I want it to be bam bam boom and not... You feel me? Are you still here? Okay, so yeah, my main point of why Lies of P is not Bloodborne is because of the movement, or because of the overall pace, I would say. But Lies of P not being Bloodborne copy is actually a good thing. Hear me out, the original can't be outdone by the copy. That's why Lies of P shouldn't take everything from Bloodborne. Not making the game as quick as Bloodborne creates the question of how to make the game still be interesting and dynamic, but using other tools. And this is where prosthetic mechanic with the weapon crafting system alongside shines the brightest. From what I saw in the trailers, they highly rely on prosthetic arm as a way to bring a variety in playstyles, and it seems like you don't need to rest at local bonfire or respec your level points to switch between those playstyles, which is cool. I like that the game lets me play with the builds and not forces me to stick to one for the rest of the game. Another thing that helps with that is the weapon crafting system, if I may call it like that. Basically, your weapon is made of two separately upgradable parts, a blade and a hilt that can be mixed with other parts to create another weapon with different skill set and animations. It partly solves the problem that still exists even in Elden Ring, where you don't change your weapon just because you've already fully upgraded the one you're currently using. On paper, sounds cool. We'll see how it actually works in the game. It seems like the story is going to be easier to follow, I guess, in comparison to FromSoft games, with at least two endings that depend on this line mechanic they always mention. I don't think that this mechanic is going to be something revolutionary. It just seems like a stylized version of choose option A to get the ending A, or choose the dialogue B to get the ending B. But maybe I'm wrong and lying somehow affects the gameplay. So to sum it up, should you be waiting for Lies of P? Yeah, for sure, it looks promising, but keep in mind that it's not Bloodborne. Do not exaggerate your expectations. It's a steampunk Souls-like about Pinocchio. Sounds exciting as it is. No need to compare it to Bloodborne. So yeah, I think that's it. The main reason I wanted to make this video is, well, not only to share my experience, also because I've seen videos that highly hype the game up, like it's a new Bloodborne, it's a Bloodborne successor, and I don't want it to fail because people overhype it. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's it for now. Maybe you've also been to Gamescom and played Lies of P. Tell me your thoughts on the game. If you haven't played the game, just say something nice in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Bye.